Picture this. A baby is born. His mother holds him once and dies. She never even tells him her name. The world names him randomly, like he's just another forgotten number in a system that doesn't care. From that first breath, everyone treats him like he's worthless, like his existence itself is a crime. So what do you think happens to a child like this? Does he become a criminal? A monster? Or does something entirely different happen? Something that defies every law of cruelty the world throws at him.
This is Oliver Twist, the story of a boy born into hell who refuses to become a devil. Charles Dickens didn't just write this novel, he lived it. He knew poverty, he knew injustice, he knew what it meant to be cast aside. And in 1837, he gave the world a story that would expose the darkest corners of Victorian England, a time when machines crushed human lives before they ever shaped iron. Here on Bookspeak, we're diving deep into this masterpiece, the story of innocence surviving in a world built to destroy it. Before we begin, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe, because many powerful stories are waiting to speak to you. Let's go back to where it all begins. A freezing winter night, a workhouse on the outskirts of London, one of the cruelest places you could imagine. A poor woman stumbles inside, barely alive. She gives birth, and within moments, she's gone. No one knows her name, no one knows where she came from. The baby opens his eyes to a world that doesn't want him. They name him Oliver Twist, not because anyone cares, but because it's his turn in the alphabet. Every orphan gets a name like this. No thought, no meaning. And the workhouse? It's not a place of care. It's a prison for children. Constant hunger, brutal beatings, humiliation, thin, watery gruel passed off as food. Kids dying from disease and cold, and no one asks questions. But Oliver is different. There's something inside him people can't quite explain, a purity, as if he doesn't belong to this cruel world at all. One day, starving beyond endurance, Oliver does something no child has ever dared to do. He steps forward with his empty bowl, his voice trembling, and says, "Please, sir, I want some more." Silence. The officials stare at him like he's committed murder. Punishment comes swiftly. Oliver is beaten, locked in a dark room for days. His first lesson is brutal. In this world, asking for your rights can be punished more harshly than stealing.
The workhouse authorities decide Oliver is too much trouble, too dangerous, so they sell him. He's sent to work for Mr. Sowerberry, an undertaker, a man whose job is to bury the dead. Imagine that, a child's first real home, surrounded by coffins. Oliver tries his best. He obeys, he works, he stays quiet. But one day, another boy named Noah Claypole mocks Oliver's dead mother, spitting cruel words that cut deep. Something inside Oliver snaps. The gentle, quiet child explodes with rage and attacks Noah violently. Punishment comes again. Oliver is beaten, tied up, locked away. And in that moment, Oliver makes a decision. I will not stay here anymore. Even dying on the streets is better than this. That night, Oliver runs.
Oliver walks for 7 days straight. 7 brutal days. Hungry, thirsty, exhausted, sleeping in ditches, ignored by people who look at him like he's nothing. Finally, he reaches London, the great city, the place he thinks will save him. But London is far more dangerous than anything he's imagined. Lost and alone, Oliver meets a cheerful, well-dressed boy, the Artful Dodger. The Dodger grins and says, "Why are you all alone? Come with me. I know a place. Food, a bed, friends." Oliver is relieved. Finally, someone kind, someone who cares. For the first time in his life, he feels like he belongs.
but what's waiting for him is worse than every nightmare before.
The Dodger leads Oliver to a dark, filthy house in the slums. There he meets Fagin, an old man with a friendly smile and a rotten soul. The house is full of children, but they're not playing games. They're being trained to do one thing: steal. Fagin teaches them how to pick pockets, how to rob, how to disappear into crowds. He jokes with them, feeds them, pretends to care. But in truth, he owns them. At first, Oliver thinks it's all a game. The boys practice stealing handkerchiefs from each other, laughing. Then, Oliver goes out with them into the street. Reality hits hard. He watches the Dodger and another boy steal from an elderly gentleman. The man notices. People shout. The crowd chases Oliver. Yes, they catch Oliver. Dragged through the street, Oliver cries out, "I didn't do anything. I didn't steal." But who will believe a poor child with no one to protect him? By pure chance, the robbed gentleman, Mr. Brownlow, is a kind man. He looks into Oliver's eyes and sees the truth. Instead of sending him to prison, he takes Oliver home. For the first time in his life, Oliver experiences a real home. Warm food, clean clothes, a soft bed, a gentle voice telling him, "You're safe now." It feels like a dream. But happiness doesn't last long. Fagin fears Oliver will expose the gang, so they kidnap him. Oliver is dragged back into the darkness. Mr. Brownlow searches everywhere, but Oliver vanishes, as if the world refuses to let him be happy. Among Fagin's gang is Bill Sykes, violent, ruthless, without conscience. And with him is Nancy, a woman trapped in this criminal world, but not without a heart. Sykes forces Oliver to participate in a burglary at the Maley family's home. Oliver refuses. "I won't steal. I'm not like you." Sykes threatens him with a knife. Oliver is forced to crawl through a small window. But the family wakes up. Sykes escapes, leaving Oliver behind. A gunshot. Oliver collapses, bleeding. But here's the miracle. The Maleys are kind people. They save him, care for him, and Rose Maley treats him like a brother. For the first time, Oliver feels the warmth of real family, and slowly the truth begins to surface. Nancy decides to help Oliver. In secret, she meets Mr. Brownlow and Rose, telling them everything about Fagin and the conspiracy. But Sykes discovers her betrayal. In a moment of brutal rage, he murders her. This crime seals his fate. The police hunt him down. Trying to escape across rooftops, Sykes falls and dies. Fagin is captured and sentenced to death. And then the final truth is revealed. Oliver's father was a wealthy man named Edwin Leaford. He had 2 sons. One was Monks, Oliver's half-brother. Monks knew Oliver's identity all along and worked with Fagin to destroy him so he could claim the entire inheritance for himself. But Mr. Brownlow exposes everything. And one more shocking truth emerges. Rose Maley is Oliver's aunt, his mother's sister. All this time, Oliver had been living with his real family without knowing it. In the end, Oliver is officially adopted by Mr. Brownlow. He lives in peace, surrounded by love. Monks receives part of the inheritance, wastes it, and dies miserable. And Oliver? A child born in darkness, who survives cruelty, hunger, and betrayal, finally lives in the light he always deserved. Oliver Twist isn't just a story about an orphan. It's a cry against social injustice, against child exploitation, against a system that destroys innocence. Dickens shows us that children don't become criminals because they're evil, but because society abandons them. And the message is crystal clear. No matter how dark your circumstances are, you are not forced to become cruel. Purity can survive even in the darkest places, and in the end, goodness wins. So, what about you? If you were in Oliver's place, what choice would you have made? Tell us in the comments which moment in this story hit you the hardest. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Bookspeak, because the greatest stories don't just tell us about life, they help us understand ourselves.